Hi, good morning. Welcome to art class this morning. I hope you're looking forward to this, and I'm sure we'll have a great time making art. I do want to mention that as we begin to work and to kind of create artworks throughout, I don't know how many weeks we will do this. Don't get frustrated. It's easy to start working on something and you think it needs to look a certain way and it's just not perfect. Well, I ask that you just keep an open mind when you're creating work. Since we're working with paper and watercolors and those types of things, it's okay. If you need to move it to the side and get another sheet of paper and rework something or create something from scratch again, that's totally fine. The big thing is I want you to just have fun creating art and have fun with me and doing that very thing. Also, accidents happen. If you're working on something and some water falls on the paper some more than you want, or a color doesn't work out that right way, uh, keep an open mind again. Go ahead and finish that piece of artwork because accidents actually make something, well, at least some of the artworks and pieces throughout history, accidents have made them really what they are today. They give them a new life. It makes it a little more interesting. So again, just keep an open mind as we create art today and in the rest of the sessions that we have with one another. So today we're going to make a rainforest collage. And we're going to have this guy in here as kind of a toucan or exotic animal or bird. And with the rainforest, it has a lot of just leaves and foliage and other types of things, so much so that you have to almost imagine you're kind of pushing back all of this greenery. And so this collage has all of these leaves surrounding this bird because it's almost like as if we're walking up on the bird and we're moving these leaves out of the way and we surprise the bird, the toucan. And so his feathers go up because he's surprised, wondering what are we doing in his home. So anyway, this is what I want you to think of, that you're surrounding this toucan as if you're somehow trying to push away the greenery to see what's behind it. All right? So let's take a look at how we begin to draw the bird, that toucan, that exotic bird. Well, first thing first, you want to start, if you have your paper, in the middle. We're going to look at how we can kind of fill this page up. So start in the middle as we begin to draw our bird. So go ahead, get your pencil with you. You want to have a marker too. It might be easier though to start with a pencil to outline things and then come back with your black marker. You also want to make sure that you have available around you a little bit of a cup of water so you can mix your colors. You want to have your watercolors. You want to have some glue, maybe some paper towels if you have those, and then your brush and a pair of scissors. So let's take a look. If you go ahead and get your paper, get your pencil, let's go ahead and take a look how we begin to draw the bird. All right? So I'm going to go through this with you. So can you see that okay? All right. So first we're starting off kind of with a weird looking E. So let's go ahead, put this way, come all the way down over into the end. Then we're going to kind of add on to this weird looking E. So the very top here, this where this E starts, let's go straight up. You can see that that's the beak, right? Okay. Then we're going to go down. We have the beak, and at this point, we're going to go all the way off and come on down and connect. So this area is the body of the bird. Then if we go to the top here, we've got the beak, we've got the body shape of the bird, and when you come on down, just right here, keep on going down, we're going to add tail feathers. I put 4 of those. You can put as many as you'd like, or as a few that you like. So I went on down, I came back up, went down, came back up, went down, came back up, went down, came back up. All right, great. Then we have the bird now. We have the tail feathers, the main body, the beak. Now we're going to add kind of the arm or the main feather of the bird. And we'll start with this point, come all the way down and connect. You see that? And now we've got all of these pieces together, and you're going to add an eye. So a big circle, and then you put a dot in the middle. And then we're going to add some feet or some claws. Now I'm not going to get sophisticated with that. I am just going to come down a little bit, and it's almost like a W. Okay? Go like this, and I'll make 2 of those. You see that? 2 of those feet. All right. Now we're going to start adding all the kind of fun stuff to the bird. All right, you see that? Yep. So now what we're going to do is take the beak, we're going to go in the middle of that beak, so that way it can open up its mouth if it wants to. All right? And then we're going to go the middle of the top. And there's this little nook there, like birds usually have on their beaks. We got a little nook. And then I put a circle or shape around the eye. That's if you want to put a different color, it kind of outlines that. And then we're going to add those top feathers. Okay, put this in on the very top of the head. And then I just made it look like a little bit of a feather. I had this middle lines and the very top to represent the tip of that feather. And now we kind of add some more lines in, so that way it gives the impression that feathers are laying on top of other feathers. So you see the squiggly lines, another squiggly line, squiggly line, squiggly line. And the same thing with that main arm or that main feather, laying on top of one another. You could use any shape you want to. You could design the feather any way you like. This is just for you to get an idea to start with. And then we need to have something for the bird to perch on, to sit on, to rest on. So we're going to fill up your page with making a branch. You see that? Awesome. And so what you're going to do is take a line, go all the way underneath that tail to the foot. Keep it going. There we go. And then underneath, connecting that so it gives the impression of a limb or a branch. And follow it out to the edge of both sides of your paper. And at any time, you can stop this video to look back at the steps or look back at kind of the finished drawing. Okay? Once you have your bird on your paper, then we're going to want to color that. We're going to use the watercolor, and we're going to use your brush and the water. Now, depending on how much water you use with the watercolor, if you use a lot of water with the colors, it has a washed out look. It's a tint of the color. If you want the color to show up stronger, have more concentration, you use less water and more color. You can practice with that and see what you like. Now, the one thing you need to keep in mind is that when you do paint with watercolors, when you use a lot of water, it's going to make your paper crinkle up. It will start kind of crinkling up because it's absorbing that water. So what I had used today is more of a poster board. You can try different types of paper, regular paper, poster board, cardboard, anything that you think that would be kind of neat looking for trying something like this. But just know your heavier paper will be able to hold that water okay. Your thinner paper is going to start crinkling more with the more amount of water that you use. But this is a fun kind of experiment to try. All right, So what I had done is I went ahead and started putting different colors into that. Now the thing about colors is that we have warm colors and we have cool colors. Cool colors are usually your greens and your blues and some purples. Your warm colors are more like your yellows and oranges and reds and some purples as well. When people use cool colors and warm colors, basically if you're applying cool colors, that means something's usually farther away from you. When you have warmer colors, it's usually when you're closer to something. So if you can imagine here that this bird has some of the sun that's going through all those leaves and it's hitting the tips of the bird, or maybe there's a lot of concentration of the sun that's coming down on that feather there. And so those are kind of the first things I see when I come up on this toucan. But I kind of applied the cooler purple, a cooler color down at the bottom where his feet is at, because that would be something probably farther away from me when I would come up on this toucan. Anyway, go ahead and apply what kind of color scheme you would like on your bird, and then let it dry. Once it dries, you're going to want to then add background. And this is kind of a fun thing to do. This is a fanning approach with the watercolors. And what you do is once that's all dry, you pick whatever color you like. I'm going to pick a red. Okay. I get it really sopping wet here on my brush. And then I'm going to take it and I'm just going to flick it. And when I do that, it spatters all over my page. It has this kind of look. Do you see that? And so this is what I did for the background. I kind of spattered that watercolor paint. So you can go ahead and try that. If you don't like it, somehow you get too much, it clumps up in an area and you don't like it, you can even take your finger, and I did this, I just kind of smoothed it out a little bit, the areas that I really didn't like all that much. And it still turned out okay. All right? Once your background is complete, once you've put those pieces together, let that dry, and we're going to work on putting our greenery, our leaves together. This is one big sheet, and I drew these different designs of the leaves on there. You can use these or you can make your own kind of design. But I wanted to use basic shapes. I thought that would be helpful in doing this. So if we have two big stalks or leaves, you just come straight up, come back down, and this is one behind it. Straight up, back down. See how simple those lines are? You can do that. And then I made this kind of interesting looking flower. I put this piece up. If I turn it sideways, it kind of looks like a hot dog. So you make this hot dog shape. Then you add an olive kind of branchy looking leaf there. And another leaf. Kind of a diamond shape. And then kind of this circles at the bottom here. These kind of leaves, again, just have it come to the tip here, back. In the middle, I wanted to add this thinking in terms of there's veins in flowers. There's veins in leaves. And so the veins are the things that carry the water to the heart, so to speak, of the plant. And the sun and nutrients. So here is this little middle vein and these little side shoots that go out. Same with this. Again, basic shape. And you see the veins. I did these two similar. You can see how the middle is done. The outline is done. And then these are kind of funny looking, kind of look like ghosts actually if you turn it around. You see that? But it was easy enough to just make this kind of ghostly looking leaf shape. And then again, the veins of that flower or that leaf going right in. after you make these designs, know that you may actually even cut off some of these. So go ahead and paint these with the watercolor. Once you've painted those, then take your scissors and go ahead and cut them out. Cut them all out. This is probably already dried after you're cut out those pieces. And then kind of put them around. Just kind of, before you put glue to those pieces, just actually kind of put it around the picture and see what works best for you. Again, you might have to cut some of these shapes down. I had to cut this shape a little bit. This one I had to cut down. I had to cut this one down. And so I wanted to frame the picture, if that makes sense. I wanted to go out to the very edge, so that way it does look like you just came up upon this toucan. You surprised it. And then when you have arranged it the way you would like on the picture, that's when you take your glue and glue the back of your greenery and then start to place it on the picture. Now when you put it down first, it may start kind of crinkling up a little bit, may fold over a little bit, may kind of tear away from the paper somewhat. Don't worry about that. It actually kind of is a nice look. But if you want it to be really flat, make sure you don't have any glue on this, that everything's kind of wiped down really well. You lay it down. Usually I get like a dictionary, a book that big, and I'll let it lay flat and keep it there for an hour or so. And as long as the paper doesn't have a lot of gooey kind of glue all hanging around, it won't stick to the dictionary. But I'll pull that off, and then the page, when I pull it up, it'll be nice and flat for me. Okay? And then the last thing, but I think it's one of the most important things for your artwork, is to sign your name. This piece of artwork was created by you. This is special. And so sign your name to that, because your mom or dad, grandma or grandpa may want to keep that. You may want to keep that. And in fact, as you get older, these little things become great mementos and remind you of some wonderful experiences you had as a smaller child. So I want you to sign your name, and then you can put this up on the refrigerator. You can put it up in your room. Maybe it's mom or dad's office that they would love to have that up. Those areas become your own museum. And especially the fridge is a great place to hang some of your awesome looking artwork. So again, you feel free at any time in this video, you can go back, you can stop that, look at those patterns. I think I will also take pictures and put these pictures on my Facebook page, so that way you see these patterns a little bit closer, or you can take pictures of them if you like, or print those out. And please, leave some comments if you have some questions to the YouTube channel. Or what I'd love to see is if you could send me the pictures of the artwork that you created today. If you could post that on my Facebook link, I would love that. I'd love to see your artwork. Again, thank you for joining me. I look forward to next week. We're going to do some more painting, but I'm working those activities out. All right? Take care. See you later. Bye.